in a way that it can't be cheated on, if you understand. So
I never thought of that side of cheating in video games. That's
yeah,
true. Um, have you ever considered to put subtitles on your streams?
I do have subtitles.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
not on the
Oh, yeah.
VOD.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's not on the VOD. It has to be live. So when it's live, there's an option to click on the closed captions button.
Oh, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
saw your subtitles in YouTube, but I
Oh yeah,
didn't.
I personally write out the subtitles for my YouTube videos. It takes a while to
Yeah, I
write it
read it.
down.
Yeah,
So
I realized you wrote them because it was exactly what you said. Because
yeah.
YouTube subtitles are mostly wrong. How do you feel about the Twitch community? Do you think it's helpful, or do you think sometimes gets toxic or competitive? How do you feel about it?
Um, I think the Twitch community in general, from whatever I have experienced, I don't think it's that competitive. It's actually really positive. Very positive, yeah. From my experience, like people have been amazing to me, and I'm grateful for everything that I've gotten and anyone who has supported me. I don't think it's like not really competitive. No, I've never been on the bad side of Twitch, if there's even one. Definitely there are some bad creators, but Um, honestly, the people in general are very nice. So
Yeah,
I would
yeah. I
say it's
think
a very positive,
mhm.
welcoming space. So
Yeah, I think it's more about the creator than the people, right? If the creator has this, I don't know, if he
yeah,
goes
they have
crazy.
bad influences. The problem is that they
Yeah,
have bad influences. It can influence the audience. They can influence the viewers. So you want to, be watchful of like what you say and stuff like that because your watchers and your viewers are gonna be looking up to you. So I think it's important to have good influences and what you want to provide is out of like no selfishness, just out of, kindness and gratitude. So, and
of
a
course.
lot of people love connecting with a creator that they can relate to and someone who can
Yeah,
understand them. So,
of course. Yeah, I think if you show the films you want to see on your channel, like you multiply them, right? Because people
yeah,
start to agree with what you share, right? And
yeah.
are your viewers most of them hard of hearing, or they are just um regular users?
What do you mean by that? Like friends or just regular viewers?
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, do you have like a lot of viewers that are
Um,
hearing, or not really?
it goes up and down, and most of my viewers are from TikTok. I got a lot of my viewers coming from TikTok in the beginning of this year, around March, or last year in March. But definitely most of them are my friends, which I'm super grateful for. Most of them are in my Discord server.
Yeah.
And most of them are from TikTok. TikTok was definitely the platform that I started growing on, and the point there was amazing as well. So definitely most of friends like have friends, have viewers, fans from TikTok and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
awesome, awesome. So now, well, we were talking about TikTok and Twitch. Do you consider this is more on the business side? Do you consider that some companies are open to make campaigns to promote some products or games for people with disabilities, or do you feel there's still this gap uh, or making just video games for the people who doesn't have a disability? Or
are
have
you
you seen
acting like
any
which one they
progress?
favor?
Pardon?
Are you acting like if the companies favor people who are disabled or not disabled? Like,
Or at least have you seen any progress in
oh,
the
it's like
focus that the companies
sponsorships.
have? Yeah.
With disabled people, yeah. I would say it's fair. Honestly, it just really depends on how big you are, and it depends.
Mhm.
how much are you influencing your audience, and if it catches an eye, if it's sponsorship, that's great. I think it's like honestly fair with obviously more with non-disabled people because I don't think there are a couple of like pretty popular disabled streamers which
Yeah.
pop to them. um I think they definitely have sponsorship. It just depends how big you are and stuff like that. As long as you have a good reach and a good following, they will
Yeah.
definitely reach you out. Maybe even companies that are related to products who support disabled people, or maybe gaming products that can help
Mhm.
as well. And I think more of these companies do sponsor them. You can also act if you want. So that too.
Awesome. Yeah. Because yeah, we've been talking to content creators here in Mexico, and they all of them have tell us that they don't really have a person in the media who represents them in a real way, because
Hmm.
they're usually people who are characters, but they are not really what a person with a disability is. So that's the case in Mexico, but I don't know in the US. How do you feel about this? For example,
Well,
this,
I
yeah,
feel like the US is like oof, full of people. Yeah, yeah. Definitely a lot of streamers here. Definitely streamers of all backgrounds as well. There's a lot of Hispanic streamers, which is very cool. And then black streamers as well. American streamers, basically streamers with all different kinds of backgrounds. And so it's definitely a much bigger topic in the US. The USA might be the biggest one, but not really sure. I mean, I could check online, but
yeah,
I would say like the influence about Twitch and stuff like that is very, very popular here. So
yeah, for sure, yeah,
yeah,
that which is amazing. Because
yeah,
there's this like it is an analysis and a study that everything that happens in the US will happen in Latin America in the next 2 years. So we hope the same happens here, and like there's a lot more
yeah. I hope
consciousness in a
so.
couple of years.
Um, it could be that it's a little bit expensive, but you don't really have to like invest money. It takes time to invest money, but honestly, it just all depends on what you want as the goal. So you can start streaming on Xbox or PS4. You don't have to necessarily get a computer.
Yeah,
But it all depends on what you want to do. If you want to do it for fun, you don't have to spend $1,000. You can spend at least maybe like 300, which is not a lot.
yeah,
It's all about being smart and the type of content that you make and yourself as a creator. And that's what you need to do. You need to give people what they want,
mhm.
and they will basically expect the same thing over and over. It's like you have to give them a reason to watch you. And I don't mean that,
Yeah,
oh, if
like
you're
a
not
value.
funny. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
It's not that you're not funny or anything like that. It's just more of so a main reason why people watch you. For example, somebody could be very inspirational or very funny, which is great. But there's always that one quality about you that will stand out to people. You're gonna find your own group of people. And that's really important. And I think people need to realize that as a Twitch streamer, you're not gonna be attracting everybody. You have to be attracting a certain type of group that is fit for you and depending on the needs that you make content on. So
Yeah, yeah, that's also what they tell us. Like you gotta really focus on the authenticity, and that's something I found on you because you're just yourself. You're not a character, as I can see on your videos. Like people follow people that are just them, right? And doesn't matter the format. They focus more on the content, on the value you give them, right?
exactly. Exactly. Value is what the keyword is. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people miss that. And people crave for value. Like what if you give them and it doesn't have any value, they're not gonna watch you. It's not only about personality and stuff like that. I wanted to give value by giving out tutorials to help people. And in turn they can support me if they want, they don't have to. And so it's all really dependent on the viewer as well. So
Yeah, that's amazing, and that really makes them to feel some of a something of a sense of
more
Uh,
inclined to support.
yeah, I think so. And they're more like loyal, right, to the content.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and they can start, learning the creator, and if they like what they do and what they stand for, they can follow and stuff like that. So
of course. And yeah, talking about all the viewers and yeah, mostly all the viewers. I know you have like a really positive public audience. But how do you deal with negative comments, negative experiences?
um honestly, I just ignore it. I don't think there's any reason to react to negative comments because mainly it's just people being jealous of you or
Yes.
insecure. When I was younger, I used to deal with it a little bit harder because I didn't really know how to deal with it. A lot of people told me that I spoke really bad.
Hmm.
I suicidal warning. People told me to, f myself. And yeah, it was just really, really bad, comments when I was younger, and so it really hurt me a lot. And I just felt really bad with about my voice and stuff like that, my speech impediment. But then, years after years, I worked at it, and then honestly, the hate comment went away completely. And I think nowadays people they can't tell, like they can't tell if I'm disabled. They just assume they'll have an accent. But then when I tell them, they're like, "Oh, it's really cute." Like they think my voice is cute and whatever. So I think nowadays, there's no point in focusing on hate comments. It's just people being jealous of you. They're just sad that you're more successful or it's just that one missing thing that they crave for. But
That's true.
yeah, I just tell them, you know what, good luck in life. Like if you like what I'm doing, but you're hating me for it, at least you're giving me likes and views. So they're
Yes.
lost.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like this. What do you call it in universal psychology? Like you just tell them, okay, like if you don't want, go away, right? But like that
exactly.
that makes them stick even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So honest, I did ignore it. I delete comment or I did ignore it at this point. Um, if they try to mock me, sometimes I call people out, but it depends on the situation. I would rather not. It wouldn't be, mature of me. So
yeah, yes,
yeah.
yeah. That's what we've heard from the other persons we've interviewed, that they build this mindset that uh through time they've trying to build, because they've had these earlier struggles, which
Hmm.
now like a negative comment is nothing, right? Like it's like okay,
Yeah. The more you deal with it, the more you do it, it gets. You're
yes,
basically immune to them. So it's just like whatever, at this point. Like you already know how they feel, you know who you are, you know what to do, and you know yourself the best. So why bother let other people's opinions, basically, basically they don't know you. They don't know you as a person. They don't know what you do. They don't know you at all. So there's really no point in, you
yeah,
know, being sad about it because there's no you know yourself best. So anyone else's opinions of you doesn't matter in the end. So
yeah. They're riskless behind a screen. They will not do the
exactly.
same if they had you in front of their
Mm-hmm.
face, right? Yeah. And
Exactly.
what's your main goal with all of this content? To make a community, to make a like even stronger community, or to raise
Honestly,
your
honestly,
voice?
right now it's just to make people happy. With the videos I'm making for them. So like on
Yeah,
Fiverr. I'm just happy right now to make videos. But right now I'm trying to save up money to move out. So eventually after I move in to a different state,
yeah,
I'll probably focus again on content, depending on how I feel. Honestly I'm just trying to disconnect for a while. But I think eventually Twitch and social media in general is something that I'm meant to do, maybe in a different way. But in the end, it's pretty much the same. But honestly, I would love to inspire more people and bring people together more and, just make them feel safe and welcomed. But
that's yeah,
I think mainly just helping them realize that, even with a disability, you can do anything that you set your mind to, and nothing can stop you unless you let it stop you. But
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And how do you see all of this community in virtual world in 5 years regarding people with disabilities?
I think it's gonna be much better in 5 years. I think there will be more disabled streamers because once there's more, other people are gonna get more inspired, and then they're gonna take that leap to try it well. And I think that's better, trying than nothing.
Yeah.
And I definitely, for sure, I know for sure that video game companies, they will take that chance to put in more accessibility settings. I know they have been for years now, and I'm super glad they're doing it. But I think it's gonna become the norm
Yeah.
from now on, and they're gonna take more effort into that to make sure it actually happens. I think it's important that everybody gets, recognized, and they'll be able to play as comfortably as they can,
Mhm.
and people deserve it. They don't deserve to be struggling
Yeah.
twice as hard in a video game when it's supposed to be for fun. That's not fair. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And same as in the physical world, right? Because it isn't
Mhm.
fair that just by the way you were born, or the accident you had, you can't live as comfortably as the other person, right? And yeah, I think it's very important to raise awareness. And well, firstly, where you want to move? I'm interested because I lived in Seattle for 6 months,
Ooh,
and
good. How was
yeah,
it?
it was pretty good. Like the people is very kind, and
Nice.
yeah, it wasn't very cold because I used to live in Ottawa,
Wow.
and it was like minus 40 Celsius. I don't know in Fahrenheit, but it was very cold. But in Seattle, it was
Wow.
fine. Yeah, where are you planning to move?
Planning to move to Pennsylvania.
Oh,
I live in
nice.
Florida right now, so I'm used to like the heat. So I think the weather change is gonna be a little bit hard in the beginning, but I'm not gonna live in Pennsylvania forever. I do want to eventually go off the grid, like semi off the grid. So I do want to live in the woods someday. So I was thinking maybe Montana in the future, or Washington, maybe
Okay.
Canada. So
Yeah, that's the vibe you give me. Like you're like a chill person, right? You
yeah,
don't go.
I want
Yeah.
peace. I just want to live like out there alone. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think it's a nice change. Honestly, I mean, I like the city, but it's just like I've always been drawn to the woods, and
Okay.
you know, I used to take trips to Vermont, and over there it's gorgeous. Like the forest is beautiful, the snow. Um, so I've always felt like that was home, and I want to try
Awesome.
it, like see how it feels. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a really good contrast, right? Because like what you do for a living requires you to be seated down in a computer, right? But you love nature, so
Yeah,
I
I
think that's a good
mean,
answer. Yeah.
I think it's both. Honestly, like I could make a living off like if I ever take TikToks of my life,
Yeah.
someday in like in my cabin or whatever, I could make money off from that. I think it'll be very interesting. Well, there's one thing that you should know. Going off the grid is a little bit difficult because of the lack of, for example, it's very different from living here. You got water here, you can cook
Yeah.
food, you have electricity, but for living off the grid, you would have to manage it all by yourself. And I think somebody who's disabled, especially out in the woods, I think that's a very interesting,
That's true.
thing that people would want to know.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say that, oh, if you're on
Mhm.
medications, if you need more care, if you're disabled, like being off the grid might not be for you.
Yeah.
And I disagree, depending on the severity of your disability or whatever medication you're on. But I think it's possible, no matter where you are. Like, even if it's hard, you can do whatever makes you happy. So I would say 50-50. Like, on the computer, I can go out there and take pictures,
Yeah.
work on social media. So I
Uh,
definitely do want to go full time freelancing and video editing. So
yeah.
that will help too.
Yeah, hopefully. So you can like keep doing content and like just do it full time, right? Because yeah,
Yeah,
that's also important to like raise the awareness, right?
mhm. I've been doing content for over 10 years now. So right now it's just like I help people. I help people out. I give them advice on what to do, what to post. So it makes me happy enough to be able to provide that for other people
Yeah,
because I've already done it for so long and it's burning me out. So
yeah,
I'm just more than happy to help people.
that's
So
awesome. And I've seen you use humor and comedy in your content. Like, how is this for you? How do you use it? Like we've noticed humor is like used for how can I call it as a
do you wanna?
window to like release all your thoughts in a funny way, or even if you're struggling, it makes it better. So
Oh
how do
yeah, yeah, for
you?
sure. It definitely good to let out what you're feeling with your viewers. Especially in your own way. It doesn't have to be like depressing. That I mean, it can be if you want, but I think some people use humor to cope. So people make jokes about what you're going through, and I think it makes it both good. Like being emotionally vulnerable with your viewers definitely make that bond a lot closer. It
Yeah,
makes them resonate with you, and they relate to you. And so
yeah,
I think it's important to open up a little bit and also joke around. Feel close, just make it feel like it's family for them. And that's definitely one of the biggest things about being a content creator. People love that. And a lot of people don't do that. They just play video games and expect to be famous. It's not gonna happen. You
yeah.
have to like put in work, put in value and stuff like that. Like be a real
Of course.
person. So
Yeah, because as long as you make them feel something, they they'll they'll stick around, right? Because yeah, that's what
yeah.
um yeah, I think that's essential. Because yeah, same. I've seen content creators that just like talk in a flat line, like no ups and downs, and it's just really boring. And I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think
That happens
if you
sometimes.
use that happens sometimes. Yeah, and I think if you use humor, comedy, you
Yeah,
just
I
get the
mean,
message more easily.
yeah, you don't have to use humor. Just be yourself, honestly. You don't have to be over the top.
Yeah,
Just be yourself, relax. Like the white people will get drawn to you and if they like you, they'll watch you. And it's simple as that. Like don't trust over the fact that, oh, am I not funny enough or am I not loud enough? Like that's ridiculous. Just be yourself. And the white people will come and watch you if they like you. So
true. That's true. Awesome. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I would really love to take a picture. Well, I think those are all the questions, Cam, that we have.
yeah,
And
cool.
thank you so much for this interview. We were nervous because the language barrier, and we didn't really. We haven't interviewed a streamer. All of them were like TikTokers or YouTubers,
Hmm.
and you're our first streamer, and you have like a really different background, which is that really gives us a lot of information, new information, and we really appreciate it. And,
Yeah,
and
thank you. I was wondering where you found me because I was really confused. I was like, how do you know I'm hard of hearing? Kind of weird. But
yeah, so I'm from Mexico. I'm originally from here, from Puebla, the city we
mhm.
are right now. Um, but yeah, all of us are from Puebla. Well, no, Ricardo, it, he's from Mexico City. Yeah.
That's really cool. I've never been to Mexico. I would love
No,
to. So,
you should.
no,
You should. No.
I should.
Oh no. Yeah, I just moved
I've been
back from the
to.
States. Uh huh.
Mhm. Oh no, I've been to Cuba for my family, and I've been to Bahamas. I've been to a couple of dates in the USA, but nowhere, like to a different country, never.
No.
But I would love to.
Yeah, you should. And like, it's not that far from you.
Yeah, it's not far. It could be like a couple of hours.
Yeah, like by plane. Yeah, yeah. I just moved from the States back here in Mexico like 3 weeks ago,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, it was a good experience, and I got to like to know you guys better, to like understand the culture better.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. Let me ask the guys if they have something to tell you.
Sure.
Ricardo, Katia, ¿tienen algo que decir?
Well,
Así de despedida.
I will thank you for your time to answer our questions, and all the thing, all the interview will be used as a educational purpose. And well, we are doing like a kind of blog, so when we finish this and the final of the semester, we can share you and you can check all the interview and all the investigation.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a pleasure. I'm really happy to be able to help you guys.